Morning all. I thought I should mention something really interesting last night. I'm not sure how recent this has been modified. I always thought that in Blitz chess, if the opponent, well at least on the ICC, and maybe some other sites, but apparently not FIDE online arena, in Blitz chess, if the opponent is left with a knight, I had this mega long game, actually I can quickly show you. It was the last game. It didn't actually. I knew it wouldn't count for the tournament, and I consigned myself to coming second in a tournament yesterday. It was quite an interesting struggle, actually. But this is not the point. But I'll quickly show you how we arrived at this position. So I actually berserked my opponents. I was glad to sort of get back in the game, and I thought I was going to rob him of his mating material. That's the way I think of it. To rob the opponent of the mating material, you know, take here, and at minimum, I was thinking it should be a draw. And you know, I queen here, and I think there's no point taking the knight because I'm going to draw anyway if I take the knight, and I want to win the game, yeah. So I thought the minimum should be a draw if I don't take the knight. But lo and behold, we reached this position where actually it was noted that black is victorious here, and I posed in the forum, and apparently it's because there's a set of legal moves which, yeah, black could checkmate, and someone gave an example here. Yes, if I was going out my way to lose this, I could set up a self-mate with knight f2. So I found that interesting. I mean, I wasn't that. I just find it interesting, actually. I'm not, you know. And I was actually pleased to find out I'd actually won the tournament anyway, because apparently one of the people was the guy that won it was actually a cheat. So if you look at my profile for yesterday, I won the tournament, even though it says second there. You see it says second there. There's a remnant that there was someone actually kicked out. So I ended up winning the weekly Super Blitz yesterday. But that game wasn't even counting. I knew that game wouldn't count anyway. If we look. Last game, it wasn't that anyway. That was outside the scope of that. So I just thought it was an interesting thing to debate actually in a video, because also I noticed today in the forum, I don't know how recent this rule change is, but someone also had this game here. Is it a draw? They were, you know, they have this final position. Let's have a quick look at this game. And King F4, timeout, white is victorious, and it's the classic knight again, the dreaded knight. I'm sure someone said there's this famous expression, if you were in blitz with a knight, you carry on, but I think that was before this particular rule. But it seems that a knight by itself is going to win games at the moment on League Chess. But yeah, the reference point, FIDE Online Arena, was given in the other thread, but I'm pretty sure some of the other servers, ICC and maybe Play Chess, I'm not entirely sure. I should have really referenced a lot of other servers, but FIDE Online Arena doesn't strike me as pardon me, necessarily the greatest reference point, because I'm not sure FIDE should be doing commercial chess servers. It seems to be a bit of a conflict of interest. So, you know, reference points for commercial chess servers. The knight on its own, I'm just thinking from a player's point of view, for them to calculate the safety net of a draw. I know sometimes it's outrageous that if the opponent's only left with a pawn, then it still counts as winning. And that's a bit of fiction that the pawn's going to somehow queen and win the game. But it's just, I think, a cultural reference point at stake, simplifying the player's burden, you know, thinking about it, about you know what state of material for the player, not necessarily to calculate what state of material, if they've got mating, and you consider a pawn mating material, but you don't consider a knight on its own mating material, or a bishop. And I know there's going to be some situations there's actually going to be a forced mate with the knight or bishop, and that would be really ridiculous, an absolute forced mate. But I think for most cases, I mean, it seems, for example, this example, it seems pretty harsh that black loses here because somehow he's gonna promote these pawns and go into a selfmate, and someone's like, visualize this. Yeah. I mean, of course, anything's possible. I think here it's an example of, I think, technological determinism. If you take a company like Pixar, they felt they were benefited by Disney to drive them to create technology around good stories. And it seems to me the story, for me personally, seems more fun, if not technologically correct, that the players can visualize if the opponent has on their side mating material, okay, including a pawn. So if they have a queen or a rook, but a knight or a bishop, that just seems not such a good story to me. I'm talking from not a technological perspective. Okay, it can be calculated. I'm not talking from a technological perspective. I'm talking from the perspective of the story here. It seems, and in practical terms, if most of the GMs are not actually playing on the FIDE online arena, then surely sites like ICC should be the reference point. So it seems to me maybe a lot of maybe more of the stronger players are just going to be alarmed by this, that you can lose now when the opponent has a single knight. I don't know about you guys, what you think about this. I'm not really complaining. I mean, I went to bed on this. I wasn't really that outraged. I thought I was happy to come first in this tournament on my particular example. I'm just talking about generally from the point of view of simplifying the task of playing a blitz game. From a player perspective, for them to understand the opponent has to have mating material. But now, this other dimension, be wary if the opponent even has a knight, basically, or a bishop. I mean, because self-mates can be theoretically constructed. Do you think... Yeah, I'm not... And this isn't a complaint. This is just an interesting debating point. What do you think should be the ideal rule here? Do you think this is correct? That, for example, white should be victorious here with the knight, or in the other example, which is my one, which I say should have been a draw. So I get to this point where I didn't know about this. Otherwise, I would have eliminated the knight. Clearly, I would have eliminated the knight. Oh dear. I had like seconds left. I don't know, I should have eliminated the knight. But yeah, okay. If nothing else, this is a warning video to those that might be losing against single knights. So now you know. Be careful, you've got to remove those single knights or the single bishops now on Blitz Chess. Okay, comments, questions, likes appreciated. Thanks very much.